There's a belief system out there that men don't really feel deeply, or men don't want relationships, or men don't feel romantic or feel the passion when they're falling in love with somebody or when they deeply love somebody, and it simply isn't true. In fact, men feel just as deeply as women do. Men want to be romantic in their particular way. Men want deep partnerships and amazing relationships. One of the questions that comes up a lot is, how do I open my heart again? How do I really let myself love again? And part of that is feeling safe enough in that interaction that you can open your heart. So what are the signs that you're in a relationship with somebody where they're falling for you? What does a man say when he deeply loves you? Today, we're going to explore different phrases that a man will say that really are a representation of his internal world of how much he loves you. I want to put out a couple of disclaimers first. Number one is words by themselves are hollow. So it can't just be that he's saying these words that demonstrates he loves you. The words and the actions have to match. He has to be congruent in that way. The second is that you feel aligned when he's saying what he's saying. In other words, you can spot someone who's just BSing you, someone who's just trying to play you, someone who's just trying to say the right things or do the right things to progress the relationship quickly and get you to fall in love with them. That's not someone who's authentic. That's someone who's trying to manipulate, and you can easily pick that out because something's going to feel off with your intuition. But if you feel aligned with what he's saying, that he's congruent, and you see his words and actions matching, what you're going to find is this represents a man who is falling in love with you or is already deeply in love with you. So let's explore what some of these phrases are. The phrases we, us, our, versus me, myself, and I. So when a man is falling in love with you, when a man is really seeing you as his partner, like he's drafting you onto his team. Like, man, we love our teams, and we say, who do I want to roll through life with? Who do I want to be my partner on my team? And so he'll have this sort of click moment where he sees you as his teammate in life, the woman that he's choosing, the woman that he's wanting to be with, just as you're choosing him back. You want him to be your teammate. And so his language will be like, oh, our place, or our time together, or hey, let's go do this thing. Well, next year, let's go on this vacation. And he's really envisioning a life with you where the two of you are one. The same is true with a man who maybe was sharing those terms with you, saying we, us, our, and now he's seeing more like, hey, my vacation next year, maybe we'll go here, but I'm wondering what I'm going to do. Is he's moving into more of a solo mindset. That was exactly the red flag that was up for my wife when she and I had been dating for like 2 years, and I had been saying we, us, because I loved her, but I was getting cold feet and I was starting to pull back. And so I was starting to use more phrases like me and myself and, my vision for my life. And she noticed that and she was like, I think we need to have a discussion. So that is a story I will save for another video, but ultimately she had an important conversation with me because she noticed that I had pulled back. I had a chance to really check in with myself of what I really wanted and realize I did not want to do life without her. And so I leaned back in, recommitted, and of course my languaging shifted from me and what I want to us and our vision and what our life could be like. You'll see a man say, and he'll back it up with action, I am here. In other words, when you're having a tough day, just like you're there for him, he wants to be there for you. He wants to be the guy that you rely on. He wants to be the man who can support you when you're having that tough day, when you're stressed out, when you need something, you forget something, something gets broken and needs to be fixed. He wants to be that guy. Even if it's like a household thing that is broken, but he can't fix it, and you guys are going to call the plumber or call the electrician, make no mistake, he still wants to be the guy who could fix it. We want those skills, even if we don't have those skills. I'm speaking from personal experience here. We want to show up. We want to be the person that you can rely on. Why? Because if we can add value to your life that way, if we can help you feel good, then we feel good. In that scenario, we feel like, wow, we did a good job. We were there for you. A quick example of this, one of my coaching clients, she's in the Manifest Your Man program, and she's calling in a guy who's going to partner with her at a super high level, a man who's got great character, a man who's got the qualities that she wants in a life partner. So she wrote all these qualities down, and one of those is a man who will show up for me when I need him. The same way that she'll show up for her guy when he needs her. She wanted a man who'll meet her that way. And so she got on a coaching call just recently and shared with me. She was like, Matt, I've met the most amazing man. We've been dating a couple months. This thing is going amazing. And here's what's great. She shared that quality that he would show up with her. She said, I had a doctor's appointment. There was some kind of a big news doctor's appointment. They're doing some tests for me, and I was going to get some of the results of these tests. And I was just sharing with him on the phone that I was feeling a little bit nervous about how these test results might come back. And he goes, what day is that doctor's appointment? And she goes, oh, it's next Thursday. And so he took next Thursday off. He put in for time off, showed up to the doctor's appointment just so he could be there with her as she received that news. That is a man demonstrating love for his partner. When they're loving you, they feel this love for you. I got this for you. Now, why would that phrase demonstrate love, right? Because ultimately it's not about the thing. It's not about the purchase. But what it's about is about the energy of him being drawn to you, him thinking about you, you occupying space in his mind, heart, his being when you're not there. So he goes on a trip and he gets you a little gift. Hey, I thought this about you. Or he goes out, he makes you something. He writes you a poem when you're not there. I made this for you, or I got this for you. There was a great example of this that made me laugh as I was preparing this for you. I went on a hike with my 5-year-old son recently, and we're walking through this cool trail, and there are these beautiful like purple flowers. And my son Bryson like bends down, he starts picking the flowers, and like we're going, and I'm like, Bryson, come on. And he's like, hold on. And I turn around, I wave, and he's picking flowers and picking flowers and picking flowers. I'm like, Bryson, let's go. Come on, let's go. And he's like, hold on, Daddy, hold on. And he's picking more. He gets this whole handful of flowers, and he's like, here, put this in your pocket. And I'm thinking he's giving them to me. And I'm like, oh, are these for me? He's like, no, these are for Mommy. And he picked all these flowers for Irene, right, his mom, my wife. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea, Bryson. So I'm back there picking flowers that we can bring back for Mom when we get home. Both her little man Bryson, and her big man said, we got this for you. And then I fessed up. I was like, okay, it was Bryson's idea. But guess what? She felt love in that moment. And that's a beautiful demonstration of how a man feels about you when you're not around. If he's bringing you something, making you something, or trying to provide some sort of gift to you. I've never met anyone like you. What a great phrase this is. Because just like you've dated lots of people, he's dated lots of people, you're finding what you like, what you don't like, who you want to share your life with, and he's finally found you. You have this beautiful, unique constellation of qualities that make you up. Your personality, what you find funny, what you're interested in, the common interest you share with him, the way you guys play together and laugh together, what you enjoy together, the physical chemistry that you have together. No one on this planet is like you. To that degree, no one's got your thumbprint. And I think it's easy for us to feel insecure in relationships, and easy for us to say, well, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of dating apps out there, you could just swipe and find somebody new. But at the same time, to really let yourself open your heart and receive when he says, I've never met anyone like you. Receive how special you are. Receive that love that he's pouring into you in that moment. The more that you can actually receive that love and receive his emotion towards you, the more you're actually able to form that connected bond with him. And here's what's fascinating. The degree to which we can receive that love from somebody else is dictated by the degree to which we love ourselves. Imagine the self-love that we have is like a doorway. And however open it is our own self-love. Well, that's the love that we're able to receive from somebody else. So if you want to swing the door wide to how much you love yourself and how much you can actually receive love from other people, like what would it look like if you doubled or tripled it? You took the volume and you took it way higher. See, most of us think, well, I love myself and I've got my door to my heart fully open. What if it could swing open twice as wide? We don't even know until we go there. So I've got a great tool that's simple exercises for you. It's an affirmation, self-love affirmation set and meditation set. It's free. It's a gift from me to you. You can click the link in the description. It'll take you to a page. You can download that and listen to those affirmations, read those affirmations, and watch what happens to your heart, because it will absolutely expand your heart, throw the door open wide, and then the level of love that you experience between you and him goes to an even deeper level. When a man deeply loves you, one of the things that he will share and say is, I'm worried about I'm stressed about, or I'm scared about. In other words, he'll give himself permission to be raw, open, and vulnerable with you. But this is a catch-22, and this is often where relationships can reach a friction point. While many women will say, I want my man to feel open with me. I want my man to be vulnerable with me. I want him to share. They'll say, I don't feel safe because he's not open with me. He's not really sharing and going deep with me. Then when a man finally does open up and he shares all the things that he's worried about or stressed about or scared about, especially if you're in partnership, especially if you're living together, and especially if you're sharing finances, to hear a man share about his worries and fears around his job and his work, if both of you are counting on each other for finances, that can be a really scary thing. The woman's experience, they'll often find it very difficult to hold space for him without herself feeling unsafe or feeling scared. And so this is a challenge to say, look, I'm going to create a safe space for my man to be open, to be vulnerable, and to really be a rock when he needs me, so that I can create that safe space where he can share his vulnerabilities. Because ultimately what I'm wanting is connection. And in those moments, believe in him enough that he can move through this period and come out the other side still the champion that he is. The woman that can do that, oh man, it is so powerful. I can remember there was a moment in a couple years ago, and I was sharing with Irene. I was working on my latest book, and I was going through just a ton of fears and a ton of paradigms, and what if people don't like it, and what if it's not, what I want it to be, and just feelings, all this turmoil. And there was one evening where I was really sharing with her vulnerably of how scared I was about this particular result, and what if I didn't have what it took, and she just held space with me because she knows me. She knows my capabilities. She believes in me, and I could see it and I could feel it in her. I could see the way she was looking at me, and she basically just gave me a hug and said, baby, you got this. I know you're going to work your way through this. You always do. You always find a solution, and you always create something great. And I know that you're going to create something great with this too, and I'm here for you. Man, that was so powerful for me in that moment. It was transformative for me, accessing the part of me that was greater than the fear, greater than the worry or the stress, and helped me create something beautiful out of that result. So when a man is willing to be vulnerable and share his worries and fears, it's a sign that he trusts you enough. He loves you enough to trust you enough to go deep. Just like with a man being vulnerable in what he's worried about or what he's scared about, to take it even deeper, when a man says, I'm scared to lose you. I'm scared to lose you. That is a sign that he deeply loves you. Why is he scared to lose you? Because you're a part of him now. Like, you're a part of his life. You're part of the vision that he sees. Like the level of feeling he has for you, the depth of that feeling, the intensity of that feeling. He's imagining if the two of you weren't together, that would be devastating for him. That would cause all kinds of pain for him. And so he's summarizing all of that in the words like, I'm scared to lose you. Like, I don't want to lose you. And it might be a moment when the two of you aren't close to losing each other at all, right? He's just being vulnerable. It might be a moment where the two of you have been having a rough patch and you haven't been connected, and he's feeling like, wow, that might be a real possibility. Those words you can just translate, I'm scared to lose you, to I love you with all my heart. When a man deeply loves you, he will say the words, I love you. Now, I know that might sound obvious and might sound like, well, yeah, like, of course, and I expect that. And we don't want to take it for granted, because many people grew up in a household where their mom and dad never told them they love them. I was coaching a client recently who grew up in a household that the parents never said they loved her. In fact, she was doing this forgiveness work. She was going through the Manifest Your Man program that's got such great healing work in it. Not only helps you call in the love of your life, but it helps in all relationships. And so she was using this forgiveness process with her mom, because her mom was harsh with her when she was little, never said that she loved her, and her mom is now in her mid-80s. And so she was saying, she was doing all of this work, and one of the things that she wanted to do for her mom was give her mom the words, I love you, regardless of what her mom would say. And so her mom was in this, old folks home, and she'd show up for mom and like bring food and have lunch with her mom. And when she would leave, she'd say, okay, mom, she'd give her a hug and say, I love you, and give her a kiss on the cheek, and then leave. And so she'd been doing this for a few weeks. until one day she goes with her mom, brings her lunch. They have a beautiful lunch. She leans down to leave, kisses her mom on the cheek and says, "Mom, I love you." And as she pulls to go away, her mom holds on to her and pulls her close and says, "I love you too, honey. I love you so much." And both of them just started crying and holding each other. What a beautiful moment that was, because this woman was open enough and giving enough. It transformed, and forgiving, it transformed that whole relationship. She goes, and my mom in her mid-80s shared with me that she loved me for the first time. And so the point of this story is to not take those words for granted, but instead, when we hear those words, let it land in a special place in us where we can let ourselves really feel it and ground it in that moment. My question for you is, what are the things that you say when you love a man deeply? What will you say to him to let him know? Beyond the words, "I love you," what else would you say to him to let him know that you love him? I appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching. Here's to your amazing love life, and I'll see you soon.